What's up, Texans fans? It's your man Chess White, aka Jargon2, and in this video we're going to talk about falling to 0-2. Ouch. Week 2, final score 20-19. You can't lose that one, guys. That one was winnable. They could not lose that one. They were on the 1-yard line. Couldn't get it in. 4th and 10, Henry Toto, what are you doing? Wrap up. Clean up. Use your mind. Use your brain. It's 4th and 10, man. Just bring Baker down and win the game. Okay, guys, we're going to talk about the box score. I don't really want to talk about this game. Today is Thursday. I have settled down a bit about this game. Looking back on it, you have Baker Mayfield only throwing for 215 yards and C.J. Stroud only throwing for 207 yards. It was a lot of scores early in the game. Then it was a defensive battle. And then at the end, it got exciting. And the Buccaneers just hit us with the dagger at the end of the game. Maybe it was a bit of payback for when we did that to them. But forget about all that. What was this game actually about? It was the Texans were embarrassed in their home stadium, in their home opener, and their performance was disgusting, and it was the worst performance of the DeMeco Ryans era, only followed by the performance last season against Detroit, where you had 5 interceptions in a game, and you lost that game at home. Now, the reason why this was worse to me is because in that game, you didn't get down to the 1-yard line and not be able to score with a 2nd and goal from the 1. And the Lions were an extremely good team last season. They were on a roll. They were almost unstoppable last season in the regular season. And you had the Buccaneers coming into this game without their left tackle, without their wide receiver number 2. And then they moved their center out to left tackle, and they had to shuffle the line. And then their right tackle goes out for the game, and Kalijah Kancey goes out for the game. This was a disaster. And our season has started off as a disaster. We're at 0-2. We have the Jags next week. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about the Tampa Bay game. But because it was so disgusting as a Texans fan, it was so atrocious to watch. And it was so maddening and frustrating. I shot a video the same night, but you could tell in that video I was just completely defeated as a fan. But we have to look ahead as fans. We have to look to Sunday. You got to go on the road and beat the Jags and then beat the Titans just to get back to 500 now. We're in the 0-2 hole. I mentioned it in some of the preview videos. We're in the 0-2 hole, guys, so it's a big problem. And the defense played really well. Again, first 2 weeks of the season, defense looks very good. Although, the defense had a shitload of penalties. Just holding, offsides, face mask, all the things that lead people to say this is an undisciplined team. DeMeco Ryans is in year 3, and he has not fixed these problems. It's the same thing we've seen from year 1 and 2. And in this game, overall what happened is the Texans got bullied and embarrassed. They were not the more physical team. They were outcoached. DeMeco Ryans should have been calling timeouts on that final drive to save the Texans offense 40 seconds, 30 seconds, just something to get into a field goal range opportunity. He didn't do that. It was a disaster. And if you paid to go to this game, I feel bad for you. Because this was absolutely atrocious by the Texans. And it's against 2 NFC teams. They're going to use that as the excuse. There's no excuse to lose this game. You don't get down to the 1 and come away with nothing, DeMeco. If you're such a defensive coach, kick a field goal on 4th and 1. I mean, Jesus, you would have won the game. We get the punt block, 0 yards. That's the offense right there. Turnover opportunity, 0 yards. You know, Woody Marks early in the game. Where was that last week? Where's Woody Marks? This dude is good. Everybody's talking about Dare getting absolutely wrecked in this game. Of course Dare's going to get wrecked. Dare's trash. Dare's special teams player. But the coaching staff is doing stuff that is so stupid. 2nd down and 1 from the goal line, go to heavy. Run the ball up the middle. You don't have to be fucking rocket scientists here, man. Give the ball to Nick Chubb. Quarterback sneak. Fullback dive. Do it 3 times. You'll get a yard. So the thought process has to be Vita Vea is going to destroy the play. Then don't run it out of the shotgun on 2nd and 1. Stupid ass. Nick Caley has done something I didn't think would happen. Guys, I miss Bobby Slowick. I think Bobby Slowick in year 3 would be better than what we've seen from Caley so far in 2 weeks. Now, there's a lot of talk about this being a hard system for them to learn. CJ Stroud is not good at this system. He was good at the Slowick system. But you know what? All the stats to the side, man. 0-2 is the only stat that matters. And you have to go and beat the Jaguars. Now, the Jaguars lost to the Bengals without Joe Burrow. How did that happen? Well, the Bengals actually have a pretty good backup. The Browning kid played pretty well. They've got Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, and the Jaguars could not stop them. And for some reason, these Jags wide receivers are dropping passes. Trevor Lawrence is missing throws, turning the ball over, throwing picks in the game. You had Trey Hendrickson closing out the game, of course. But Jaguars are at 1-1. Guys, we're in the must-win game of the season. We're in week 3. If you don't think that that's the case, look at the statistics on teams that have made the playoffs at 0-3. From what I was hearing from talk radio today, the only team that's ever done it was the 2018 Texans. I hardly even remember that at this point. But had to be an O'Brien team. But look, guys, we're in big trouble. We're in deep shit. And we have to win on Sunday. I don't care how you win. I don't care if it's an ugly win, 1-point win. If it's 9-10 win. Just win the game, guys. You have to get a win on the board because the following week you feel pretty good about beating the rookie QB with the Titans. This was just disgusting and atrocious in front of the whole nation on Monday Night Football. And there's only so much that people on the talk radio can say. Well, you got dominated at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And in my preview, I talked about how the Buccaneers have maybe even a better defense than the Rams. I mean, you know, they're basically pretty close. Excellent defensive line, and Vita Vea was a problem all game. You know, Jared Patterson got destroyed. Tomlinson got destroyed. Our O-line just looks like trash, and a lot of talk about team composition as well. You know, trading Tunsil, but hitting on Ariante Ursary. In my opinion, in hindsight, I think the move would have been you keep Tunsil at left tackle, you throw Ursary at right tackle, you keep Titus at guard, and then, you know, with Tomlinson at guard, if he sucks, you can bench him for Ingram or for Scruggs, but they don't have that. Tunsil's gone, and in the first couple games, he's looked pretty bad for Washington, false starts, bad on missing the snap count, and the same type of stuff that we saw here. So he had to have been a problem for them to trade him. And this is a disaster for the Texans fans. And in my first preview video for the season, I'm talking about AFC Championship game. I'm talking about expectations for the season and that we're a damn good football team. We look like a shit team. We look like a wild card at best team. And if we miss the playoffs this season, it's because we lose this Sunday against the Jags. And we have Baltimore a couple weeks later, lose to them. And you start out the season looking at 1-4, 1-5. You're not a playoff team. And you have to point to the guys at the top. Caserio and D'Amico, that's who I was giving all the praise to in the beginning. New culture, new roster. But, man, you have to protect your quarterback. And they haven't done that. And, you know, if I was in charge of this team, I'd be cutting Ogunbowale. I know you're a good special teamer, but you can't fumble crucial play in week 1 and then not pick up any blitzes in week 2 and still be on the team. For me, you're off the team. And put British Brooks out there, man. Let him pass block. Let the fullback pass block out there. I mean, it's just a lot of things that are really stupid, y'all. And we know as fans, and the fans were booing, and they were right to boo. If I was in that stadium, I would have been booing. Because this team has played like trash in 2 games. They put up 9 points and 19 points. And they're 28th in offense, y'all. That is not good enough. That's worse than Slowick. At least Slowick, your offense was middle of the pack. I mean, the league figured out his offense in the second year, but with quarterbacks, you have to have some continuity. And Case Keenum should have stayed on this team as the quarterback's coach or made him the offensive coordinator. I mean, there's just so many things to point to that you couldn't even cover it if you talked about it for an hour. And I was listening to Landry Locker and Cody Stutes, shout out to those guys, talk about it, listening to Seth Payne, listening to Sports Radio 610. Guys, this is not the team that we thought it was going to be 2 weeks out of the gate. Now, could they turn it around, dominate the Jaguars, and spark something, spark their playoff run? Sure, yeah. But they got to go do it. It's do or die. I was texting my friend during the Buccaneers game. This is do or die right here, week 2. And last play of the game, Buccaneers just ran over the nickel defense on the goal line. What are you doing, D'Amico? Where's your goal line package, man? Where's your 3 defensive tackles and your extra linebackers? You got safeties and you got Jalen Petrie out there on the goal line. Like, we're not thinking things through. We're not playing basic football when we have to. And Seth Payne made some good points. There's times in football where you have to be able to run the ball for 1 yard when the other team knows you're going to run the ball for 1 yard. And those are those situations that you have to convert those to win. I mean, 20-19 is a gut punch. It is a nasty, disgusting game for week 2. So don't give up, y'all. I'm not going to give up after 2 games. They're NFC teams. That might be the only bright side to it. If you go and beat your 2 teams in the South, then you're back at 500. Let's see what happens. I'm going to react to each game. I'm going to preview each game. And I'm going to keep it real with y'all. And I'm here. I'm a Texans fan since 2006. And so far, start to the season has been god-awful. But let's see what we can do. Let's see if we turn it around. Let's see what the coaching staff is made of. Let's see what these players are made of. Let's see if CJ is going to turn it around. Because from week 1 to week 2, CJ did not play better. He played a little bit worse. And he did what he could in week 1. But in week 2, he was missing open guys. He was taking sacks. And the criticisms of him are valid. You don't just go and pay a guy $60 million a year if he's playing subpar. Now, the players around him are trash. O-line is trash. His tight ends are trash. His running backs are subpar. And his wide receivers are subpar outside of Nico. But the coaching staff has got to put these rookies in the game, start Woody Marks, start Jalen Knoll, start Jaden Higgins. Just change the team, change the lineup, change the play calling. You got to go get a win on Sunday, guys. Whatever you got to do it, man, just get it done. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace out.